Hey everybody. I know it's early in the morning. I know because I couldn't have went to sleep. You know, it is what it is. But I like to come on here to talk about the anti SJW community is disingenuous. We have important a radical a radical Caucasian terrorist stabbing people because of the fact of the matter that this terrorist cannot spew their hate. This is the question I want to ask the anti social justice skeptic community. You call everything out on the left, like what everybody on the left is doing. Like, they bad, they disingenuous, Hillary needs to go to jail, and so on and so forth. But here's the question that I want to ask you. This radical Caucasian terrorist went and stabbed somebody because he was spewing views of hate. The the teenagers, because they was teenagers. Uh, Hear me out for a minute. They was teenagers. They didn't do anything to the man. The man came up. This radical Caucasian terrorist in Seattle came up, telling them, "Leave the train, go back to your country. This is my country." And they started doing it to people of color. When the passengers on the train got enough of this radical Caucasian terrorist, they went and uh, they went and tried to stop this radical Caucasian terrorist from doing his terroristic crimes. What they got from it, from this radical Caucasian terrorist, well, excuse me, what they got from this radical Caucasian terrorist is death and destruction. Because two people died, another person got seriously hurt. It was hurt by an inch of his life. But when it comes to ISIS and a radical Islamic state, these anti-SJWs be on it. Real quickly. On it. Bam. On it. But when it comes to they own people doing the terrorism, I hear crickets. I wonder why did I hear crickets from the supposedly free speech skeptic community, or I call it the disingenuous community. Because if it doesn't affect them, they don't care. But if it's affect other people, if it doesn't affect him, they don't care. But if it affect other people, they give a big fuck you. Like they don't care. I'm no longer gonna call them white supremacists and stuff like that. I'm gonna call them radical Caucasian terrorists. And whoever sympathizes with this individual is a radical Caucasian terrorist sympathizer. If y'all are for rights and freedom for other people and yourself, you should be rights and opinions for rights and free speech and stuff like that for other people. You sitting here and talk about feminism, talking about social justice. That's not the problem. It making you looking bad because this radical Caucasian terrorist coming in there and killing people and saying death to America. If you don't like free speech, get out the country. He's a real white supremacist. It seems like when Trump came in office, it seems like people, when they think about other groups of people like Asians and Latinos and blacks and Arabs, they really um we really know what they really think about us. We really do. We really know what they think about us. They think that we are radical Caucasian. They think that black people are terrorists, which I don't get. Why in the hell you thinking black people are going and terrorizing other groups of people? I don't know why you think that. Okay. Hmm. Hold on. Yeah. Mhm. Okay. My money came in. That's a good thing. Hmm. Okay, back to the broadcast. I'm gonna I'm gonna say it like this, and this person I'm gonna put under the bus, and this person's name is Blair White. To talk about Islam and stuff like that, and there's a piece of shit YouTubers that do that as well, that go in believe in that behavior and stuff like that, which is which is okay. Let them believe what they believe because they the lowest hanging fruit. So I want to talk about Blair. You dis you disingenuous piece of work. You are a piece of work. You know that, Blair. You are a piece of work. You want people to identify you as a woman, and I'm going to go off the tangent for a minute, and then I'll come back on point. So to you want people to identify you as a woman. You're transsexual. I'm not gonna be like other people and disrespect you and stuff like that because why disrespect the individual for difference of opinions and ideology? It doesn't make sense. But this is what I want. This is what I want to say. I want to say, and I don't care how it turns. I don't care how it turns out. You want people to identify you as a woman, but you do not want Riley to use pronouns and non-binary and stuff like that. I'm gonna give an example. Riley, by your means, he's not trans. You think he's that person? That person's a transvestite, which that person gender identity identify as a trans woman. Gender identity. The irony level on it is because you being a disingenuous individual and also a radical Caucasian terrorist sympathizer, that you basically want people to identify you as woman, but don't want to identify Riley as or as her pronouns. Right there, that's being very disingenuous. And when people wants to be, I'm gonna say it like this: my nickname is Doctor Zachary. That's my nickname. I'd rather for people to call me Doctor Zachary or Doc Z than my name Zachary because I will identify that as Dr. Zachary because that's my nickname. I go by that. I don't have a problem. When Riley wants to have to be announce her as her pronoun, that's a problem. You being very disingenuous, Blair, because you want people to identify you as a woman, but you having something hanging down low. You didn't have the surgery, so you still in the trans phase. You disingenuous bastard. So back to this situation, back to this, back to this thing. None of the people on the right made the video about Jared. What's that person's name? Hold up just a second. Hold up. Money, money, money. Oh, money. Excuse me. Okay. I need to get his name. Hold on for a second. His name is Jeremy Joseph Christian. I'm gonna. I want to show you the picture of what this radical Caucasian terrorist look like, because we need to show everybody, show the whole world what that person looked like.
His name's Greg Scholl, 95439 from the Metropolitan. Free speech or die, Portland. You got no safe place. This is America. Get out if you don't like free speech. 95439. Death to the enemies of America. Leave this country if you hate our freedom. Death to Antifa. You call it terrorism, I call it patriotism. You hear me? Die.
Oh, hold on. You see this radical Caucasian terrorist, and you heard what he said. Y'all talking shit about the left and what they do and how they do it. But here's the question. Do the people, okay, although that people on the left fight, do you hear people on the left go and kill people and go and do harm to other people? Not bodily harm like this to people? Okay, I can see if it was a fist fight or something, that's one thing. But going and actually murdering somebody like this, we see it from the white ring extremists, and nobody talks about it on the anti-SJW side. Nobody want to talk about that. Nobody want to do it. But when somebody from the left do something, y'all want to talk about everything that is wrong with the left. The left is this. All they doing identity politics. They doing this. They doing that. We the boogeyman. Da 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 da. I identify myself as the left. I'm a Justice Democrat. But I'm not gonna sit here and let a transsexual individual go and be selective when Muslim people do the shit, do the terrorism, when this person did the terrorism to somebody else, and you're not calling it out. The radical Caucasian terrorist sympathizer Blair White don't want to call out that. All the people do not want to call out this and saying that and being genuous about it instead of being disingenuous. To me, they are radical Caucasian terrorist sympathizers. I don't care. I don't care if this video get flagged. I don't care if I probably get a community guideline strike. I don't care at this point, because y'all talk about the ills of the left, but nobody from the left kill anybody. Nobody from the left did it. Nobody from the left went and got a gun and tread on people rights and freedoms and shit. Then we don't do that. We don't do that. We go against the excuse me. We go against the opposition. We go against the opposition. And when you have this piece of shit of a person, Blair White, a white radical Caucasian terrorist sympathizer, not reporting on it, that tells me one thing. That tells me that her, T.J. Kirk, Undoom, Angry Mick, not Angry Mick, Charman 93, Blair, Undoom, War Corps, all these people on the right, all the anti-SJWs and the alt-right don't want to report on it. But if it's somebody that's trying to get rid of free speech at a college campus, that trying to promote a healthy thing without having to have hate, that's a problem. You don't want to call out radical Caucasian terrorism, because if it's not happening to you, y'all call out all day a radical Islamic terrorism, which I'm gonna say that's good, but you need to call out your side as well. Y'all can't have selective outrage when a radical Islamic terrorist do something, then a radical Caucasian terrorist doing something that is. But this person did a straight terrorism, and nobody from that skeptic community side haven't even touched it or haven't even reported on it. Wrong is wrong. Call out being wrong. If the person on the left wrong, I have no problem with y'all calling it out and saying that we are wrong. But at the same time, call out your side too for being wrong as well. Don't sit here and be very disingenuous and not calling out radical Caucasian terrorism, but it's easy for you to call radical Islamic terrorism. That's what we are doing. I would respect you a lot better as a content creator if you call out both sides. If you call out radical Caucasian terrorism, and you call out radical Islamic terrorism. If y'all were to call them out, I would have no problem at all. No problem. No problem at all. Excuse me. Getting a little sick. I won't have problems at all if you will call out radical radical Caucasian terrorists like you call out radical Islamic terrorism. I would have no problem with it. I would have said, okay, call it out. That's good that you call it out. Excuse me. But y'all is disingenuous. Y'all call out stuff on the left. You don't call out stuff on the right. You call out radical Islamic terrorism, but you don't call radical Caucasian terrorism. Feminism is not bad. It's not the boogeyman or bad when we have the radical Caucasian terrorists killing anybody. They can kill. I will show you the victims that this radical Caucasian terrorists kill. Rest in power to the people that did it, that sacrificed their life to this radical Caucasian terrorist. although that y'all can go and be productive in life. That's what it is. Okay. Just the survivor said he's not a hero. That I'm not a hero. This is a person, the victim. One was a military person that in the armed service. My tribute to him and fallen soldier because I came from a family that we were half family and relatives that's soldiers, and they have a very hard job. And one of the persons a soldier, and probably the people that know him very well in the armed forces is going through a hard time right now because of this radical Caucasian terrorist took them away from them. He may get the death penalty because he did aggravated murder. Nobody, I'm trying to get the victims. Hold up. I'm trying to get I'm trying to get the pictures of the victim because what I want to do is show tribute to these people. One was a army vet and another one was a college graduate. I'm trying to get the picture. This is the army veteran. This is the army veteran.
We are learning more about the two men who died in Friday's attack. They're two people, a 53-year-old Army veteran and father of four. The other man, a 23-year-old recent graduate of Reed College. The victims are being remembered as heroes for intervening, trying to stand up for passengers and fight against hate. Last night, a candlelit vigil was held in Portland honoring them. A third victim who survived, a 21-year-old, is recovering in the hospital. His mom spoke out yesterday about his injuries. Here's what she said.
They missed the jugular a millimeter. They cut one of the carotid arteries. And he will have some paralyzation.
There's been an outpouring of support for the victims on social media, and the governor of Oregon praised their actions, speaking out in a press conference. Here's what she said.
Let's not let hate and fear divide us. Instead, let's take the example of the Good Samaritans who sacrificed their lives for the safety of others.
And the suspect is going to be in court on Tuesday, and authorities say he could face additional charges once he's before a grand jury, guys.
All right, Dan Lieberman, we appreciate the update. Thank you.
Got it.
My hat's off. Like I said, my hats is off to the Army veteran and the college student that stand with this radical Caucasian terrorist, and the one that also intervened in it as well. We will never forget what y'all did. But Blair don't care about that because she care about her own narrative. She care about her own narrative. Okay, so that's hold up. Sorry, but here's the question I want to ask the anti-SJW community: are you gonna only call out Islamic Islamic terrorism, or are you going to call out the radical Caucasian terrorism as well? Don't be hypocritical and say we're going to only call out radical Islamic terrorism and stuff like that, because at the end of the day, you're being disingenuous. And you only call out Islamic terrorism instead of radical Caucasian terrorism. So I want Blair, TJ Kirk, Undo, Shoe on Head, people to report on both sides instead of this whole the left is the bad boogeyman. Because at the end of the day, we never hear news media say from the left they be killing people on the right. The only thing you can say that we do is fight. It doesn't say in other news on the left, we killed this person that supported Trump. Never heard no headlines, because if I do, I will go in on it gladly, because I'm not a disingenuous piece of shit. You think the left is the big bad boogeyman? Oh, I'm the boogeyman. You may not listen to the video. You may not care about it, because all you care about is you, and you. Fuck the left. Fuck the Democratic Party. Fuck them. They piece of shit. And all the trimmings along with it, and all the shit that goes along with it. Fuck them. Fuck their ideology. Blah blah blah. But these men are remembered. The two fallen men are remembered as heroes. They will go down in the town's history as heroes. They did action. What are y'all doing on the computer? Talking about this culture war about the left versus the right. How feminism destroyed everything, and how social justice ruined everything. But how radical or Caucasian terrorism, how radical Islamic State want to make Sharia law, but you do not want to talk about the elephant in the room, which is this man is filled with hate and saying something. I heard a couple of videos that they said he supported Bernie Sanders and Jill Stein. Doesn't matter. It could be a smokescreen. This person killed, and that same rhetoric that he did. And then you have the commander in chief, Donald Trump, said, "I don't condone this. We should unify." Blah 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 blah. Motherfucker, you the one that did the shit. You disingenuous motherfucker, you. All of y'all people on the anti-SJW community is disingenuous motherfucker, you. All of y'all. Don't sit here and lecture the left on something when on the right you kill people that don't agree with your philosophy, and have crazy people and don't want to speak up on it. But if it was an Arab or a gay, no, hold on. If it was an Arab, a kike, a gook, a E-Rev, a raghead, all of these people y'all will talk about. But you don't want to talk about your own people, because you want to hide that part of history, right? You want to hide that part of that disdain in history. Then you go and terrorize other countries, and you think you have a moral compass? Hold up just a second. No. That'd be another time. Y'all want the left to come together with y'all to do it. But how are we gonna do it if y'all not call out y'all bullshit? Y'all easily call out the left and how they do it, how they identity politic and shit like that. You don't want to call your own side for doing something like this heinous. What that man did was heinous. What he did to those people it's a heinous act. That was a very heinous act that he did. That was some terrorism that was going on. He got a sword and killed one of them. Slash one of them in the thing and do that. And don't try to fucking justify the shit. Don't try to motherfucking justify the shit. Don't try to do it. Don't try to. You sitting here and talking about what the left did and how they identity politics and how they taking over college campuses, but you don't want to talk about this. But it's easy. Yeah, I can see your YouTube video library and talking about feminism and non-binary people getting called by pronouns. It's a problem, and we have a bigger problem to handle than a fucking pronoun. To me, I'd rather deal with radical terrorism, period, than a motherfucking pronoun that somebody wants to be identified as. I'd rather identify that person as their pronoun than to go and fight a war that is not going to end. It's one thing for you to go and talk about the left and talk about how disingenuous the left is, and the left doesn't know what it is, and the left is the boogeyman of the story. What about the right? They're having these radical Caucasian terrorists running amok. These motherfuckers is running amok. But you want to talk about radical Islamic, we don't want to go through Sharia law. All of y'all motherfuckers are disingenuous in that community. And for the people that speak out on it, if it's not applied to you, don't get in your fucking feelings. All of y'all motherfuckers, all y'all do is say, have feminists and saying this and that and the other. Y'all don't want to address the elephant in the room. This person represents your ideology, your thing. You don't want to talk about that, but you want to talk about these liberals and all these other people that does it. Does it say on the news headline, liberal kill somebody? Because if I do, show me the evidence. Put it in the description below. I will research the evidence to see if it's a legitimate evidence from a legitimate source. And if it is, I will go and talk against my own party. There are people that talk against their own Democratic Party that's on YouTube that talk against their own party that's doing something wrong. And that's the selected or talk. He talking against his own party, and he is not being disingenuous. Although that he despised that, he calls himself a Justice Democrat. You can talk about how Democrats does this and does that. It's not gonna do anything if you just talk about these Democrat people wants to do this or wants to do that. You kill a war veteran, then you kill a college graduate, and nobody from that side is talking about it. But when it comes to radical Islamic terrorism, you have like 500, 600 videos about it. But when it comes to radical Caucasian terrorism, it doesn't have not even one is doing it. The only person that is doing it is the black YouTubers. The black YouTubers is saying Okay, these white people is not gonna want to go and call them radical Caucasian terrorists. We are. That's what I like about Phil from the Advice Show. That's what I like about Harvey, Mr. Superboy 223. That's what I like about Selector Talk. You go and you talk about the issues with it, and they go in on both sides. You talk about what's the problem with the left, and you're not acknowledging what you're doing with your own party. And Blair is oblivious to it. She don't care, but she wants people to call her Blair, but you don't want Riley to be called as a pronoun she, her. What's so fucking easy to just say she, her? Or what they want to prefer to be called. That's, to me, that's easy. You're making a big deal out of something they want to be called. If they want to be called pronoun she, her, or Riley, I would do it. But no, these anti-SJW want the way that they wanted it and strip the rights of other people that they think that the left is doing. That's being highly disingenuous. Very highly disingenuous at all time high. I went on a tangent about this. It's going on longer than it is. It's almost 4 a.m. over in Los Angeles, so I'm going to end this video. There's nothing else really to say. These people are disingenuous. They want to talk about radical Islamic terrorism, but they always talk. They don't want to talk about the radical Caucasian terrorists. As being disingenuous if you really want to know the truth. That's why I said if the anti-SJW community is disingenuous, and the answer is yes. Because they will make 500 videos about Islam, but they won't make 500 videos about radical Caucasian terrorism, terrorizing people. I don't want to talk about that. And remember, the left never killed anybody, never killed a person. And always the people that lean towards the right, they go and kill people or have a very extreme view. We have our nutcases on the left, but you outdo us by a landslide. Really, you are. If you don't want to talk about the radical Caucasian terrorism and how it's affected other people, and then people from your group, the white group, died from saving somebody. That tells me right there, y'all don't give a fuck at all, whatsoever. You disingenuous bastards. And for Blair, go suck on the HIV dick. Yeah, I said it.